Good afternoon, everybody. Today we are going to present a short drama named Snow White and Seven Dwarfs. So let's watch our drama. Long, long ago, there lived a beautiful queen whose greatest wish was to have a daughter.
I wish I had a child of my own, a beautiful daughter with skin as white as snow, with lips as red as rose, and hair as black as coal.
It wasn't long before the queen's wish came true. She gave birth to a beautiful little girl whom she named Snow White. But sadly, the queen became very sick. And unfortunately, she died when Snow White was very little. After a few days, Snow White's father, the king, eventually remarried. His new wife, the new queen, came to live with him and Snow White in the castle. The new queen was very beautiful, but she was a proud and cruel woman. In her room, she had a magical talking mirror, and every morning she would stand before it and ask the same question.
Magical mirror on the wall, tell me, who is the fairest of them all?
The magical mirror would always speak the truth and tell the queen that she was the fairest.
You are my queen. You are the fairest of all.
The queen was always pleased with the magical mirror's answer because she knew that mirror could never tell a lie. The years passed, and Snow White grew to be a beautiful young woman. Everyone admired Snow White's beauty. Her skin was as white as snow, her lips as red as a rose, and her hair as black as coal. Just as her mother had wished for. So she offered everything to her mother. One morning, the wicked queen approached the mirror and asked again,
Magical mirror on the wall, tell me, who is the fairest of them all?
To the wicked queen's great shock, the magical mirror had a different answer for her that day.
Snow White, Snow White, Snow White is the fairest of all.
The wicked queen knew that the magical mirror only spoke the truth and grew very envious of Snow White. So one day, when the king was away, the wicked queen called a hunter to her chamber.
You will take Snow White to the forest and get rid of her and bring back a lock of her hair for me.
The hunter took Snow White to the forest. Where they came to a cliff. He prepared to push Snow White off the cliff, but when he saw how loving she was, he stopped himself.
Princess Snow White, your stepmother, the wicked queen has asked me to get rid of you, but I do not have the heart to hurt you. Please stay here in the forest and never return to the kingdom.
The hunter then left Snow White in the forest, but he made sure to cut a lock of her hair first. The hunter returned to the castle and presented the lock of hair to the wicked queen.
Ha ha ha! Snow White is gone, and I am the fairest of them all once again.
Wandering through the forest, Snow White came upon a tiny cottage near some mountains. She entered the cottage and found a delicious meal laid out on the table.
Seven little plates. They are full of delicious food.
Snow White was so hungry that she ate all the food. She then went to rest in the bedroom.
Oh, there are 7 little beds here. There must be 7 children living in this house. I think I will take a nap until they come back.
Quite exhausted, Snow White fell fast asleep. The house belonged to 7 dwarfs who were miners. They worked in the mountains. And when they returned in the evening, they realized that someone was in their house.
Someone's eaten our food. Someone's sleeping on our bed.
Snow White heard the dwarfs and woke up. She told them who she was and what had happened.
My stepmother will kill me if I go back to the castle.
The 7 dwarfs were very kind to Snow White and offered to let her stay in their house.
You can stay with us
But you must be careful while we are away,
and not let anyone enter the house.
for it could be your stepmother trying to harm you again. Snow White enjoyed living with the dwarfs. They were very kind to her, and she felt quite safe and happy with them. Since the hunter had given the wicked queen the lock of hair, she believed that Snow White was dead. So she was very surprised when she went to the magical mirror and asked again.
Magical mirror on the wall, tell me, who is the fairest of all?
Snow White, Snow White, Snow White here is the fairest of all.
But Snow White is dead.
The wicked queen couldn't believe her eyes when the magical mirror showed her that Snow White was still alive. The wicked queen was so angry that she decided to get rid of Snow White herself. The wicked queen first disguised herself as an old beggar. She then took a poisoned apple and went to the dwarf's house. Snow White was all alone when the wicked queen came to the house.
Hello, is anyone home? I am a poor old woman and I am feeling very cold. Can I come in for a little while? You poor thing, please come in.
Snow White fell for the wicked queen's trick and led her into the house.
You are very kind. Please accept this apple as a token of my thanks, my loved. Thank you. Please take a bite of the apple, loved, and tell me how you liked it.
Snow White did not recognize the wicked queen, and so she innocently took a big bite of the apple.
Ah, my head.
The poison in the apple put Snow White into a deep, deep sleep.
Ha ha ha! Now I am again the fairest of them all once again.
When the dwarfs returned, they saw Snow White lying cold and still.
Oh no, something has happened to Snow White. Look, there's an apple here. Oh no, the apple must be poisoned. I hope it doesn't kill her.
The poor dwarf couldn't stop crying. They carried Snow White to the top of the mountains. And waited by her side. Some times later, a kind and handsome prince came by. He saw Snow White and was taken aback by her beauty.
What a beautiful young lady. But why is she so pale and cold?
The one from the prince's hut woke Snow White up. The prince and the 7 dwarfs were very happy to see Snow White wake up. They took very good care of her and nursed her back to health. To everyone's great happiness, the prince then asked Snow White to marry him.
Princess Snow White, will you be my wife?
Yes. Hooray. When the wicked queen heard that Snow White was still alive, she plotted to harm her again. But the prince and the 7 dwarfs were ready. Before she could act, they replaced the wicked queen's shoes with a magical pair that never stopped walking.
Huh? Why cannot I stop walking? Why cannot I stop walking? Where am I going? Snow White and the prince then lived happily ever after. Hello everyone present here. I hope all of you enjoyed our short drama, The Snow White and Seven Dwarfs. So I will say the moral of the drama. Moral of the drama is, vanity will not take you far, but kindness will. In this short story, the queen was completely indulged in vanity, which messed with her mind. But kind-hearted Snow White found friends and met a prince who showed kindness to her. So let's have kind-hearted and be compassionate towards others. Thank you.